Okay, we are live. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rob Gehring. I'm the admin and owner of Rob's Networkers and Traffic Leads to Income VM. And this is a very special hangout that we've put together this afternoon. I'm here with Dan Moses, a man who wears many hats. I consider him a marketing friend. I'm going to use this term, probably going to embarrass Dan a little bit, but I consider him a marketing legend in the industry of traffic exchanges. And in viral mailers, and he just wears a lot of hats and helps a lot of people out here on the internet. So we're gonna ask Dan a few questions. He was kind enough to to come in today to the hangout and hang out with us. So I've got some questions for Dan, and I do encourage our audience here today, who's listening in, to ask. You can use the Google interface to ask questions and give comments and feedback. We already had one piece of feedback come in from Silver Rodriguez. What time is it over there right now? It's 1:01 p.m. Eastern time right now here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What time is it for you, Dan?
Yeah, it's 10:01 over here.
And where is over here?
Right. I live in Bend, Oregon, so I'm on the West Coast.
Nice, excellent. Okay. So without further ado, I'm gonna shoot over my first question to Dan. Oh, one other thing for our YouTube audience, because we know that people can watch us live on YouTube. There's actually a little bar you can click on in YouTube that brings you over then to the Google interface if you'd like to interact with us in the Q&A portion. So I'll leave that to you guys. So all right, let me grab my notepad here. I got some questions written down for Dan. So first of all, Dan, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know, when did you start in internet marketing? Tell us about your history and your background.
Okay, well, first off, Rob, I just want to thank you for inviting me here today. And this is great. I love to do these. It's very far and few between, but I definitely appreciate inviting me and setting this up. So as far as my background goes, and for those who don't know, my name is Dan Moses. I've been marketing online since 1999. And I actually came online when I got involved with a MLM company called skybiz.com. And what that was is a 35 meg website. And then they had obviously the MLM structure with the 2x3s. And so it had a website that taught how to build pretty easily the setup back in the day. I mean, for me, it was brand new. So when I got on, I started playing with the website builder. I actually got into the product and really enjoyed it. And ended up building websites, kind of small ones for different local businesses here in Central Oregon for $50 an hour. So that was kind of exciting and something fun to get into. But basically what happened is I built these downlines, and I'm sure everybody's been through this at one point or another, that a business ends up going up or it doesn't happen, or the FTC comes in, and what they did is they actually put a hold on them because a lot of people were building it business-wise, selling all the different business without people using the product. So they came in, took a look at them, shut them down for 6 months. At that point, I lost all my downline. I mean, with 6 months online, that's, a decade. So everybody jumped ship, went somewhere else. And I realized at that point that I didn't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I didn't want to promote just one program, and I kind of wanted to diversify what I was doing. So the program cleared, and after 6 months they turned it back on, but like I said, everybody was pretty much gone. So at that point I was learning how to advertise, and I got into the traffic exchanges, which was amazing because back in the day we had like FFA sites, which weren't very effective, and you get like 5 hits a day and you're like, wow, I got 5 people to look at my program, and all these classified ad bursts and all that kind of thing. So to me, the traffic exchange was just glorious gold mine, because you could sit there and trade your time and you could get a lot of traffic, and these people are actually viewing your site. And I was like, wow, I went from 10 hits a day to 1,000 a day, and I was like, this is amazing. So what I did is I downloaded a couple ebooks, or actually bought them, that had master resale rights. And still to this day this works, but I put together these packages to give away for a name and email. So I built a lead capture page. And so I started building a list of people that are interested in marketing information using the traffic exchanges. And I got a few hundred people on the list. And there's a couple good guys out there that I really like. Jimmy D. Brown, I'm sure you might have heard of him. A lot of people have. He's been around a long time. And so I started selling his $20 products to my small list of 300 people. So made my first sales, you know, $8 here and $20 here, and it started out very slow, and more traffic exchanges started coming online, and I decided to build one and connected with a very valuable, she was a ghostwriter. And if anybody ever hears my story, I bring her up. Her name's Maggie Leeds. And she took the time to help me learn how to build websites kind of from Notepad, from scratch. But the cool thing of how I connected with her is back in the day, they had a PayPal code where you could check the view source and see where people's download links were. Nowadays, they got them a lot more encrypted, but I figured out how you could get their download link. And so I could have stolen her product, but instead I emailed her and let her know. And that started a relationship that went for years, where she actually helped me build, you know, my first traffic exchange, ClickMaster Pro. And I also got free click-through club, a club program that she helped me build. And so that started a relationship that grew from there. And, you know, that's kind of pretty much how I got started, without all the super fine details, but I don't want to talk forever on that one.
That's good. That's good. That's a good kickoff question. So thanks for the background info, Dan. And we might as well say how long we've been online. I know I don't know if this is accurate, but I think it was around 1999 is when I came online. What year do you say that you came on, Dan?
Yeah, same year, 99. Skybiz came out around then. So right when the traffic exchanges, I mean, my favorite back then was ClickSilo. I mean,
yeah, I remember that one.
Yes. It's no longer.
There was like 10 traffic exchanges, I think. And you're right, it was amazing. The amount of lead, that was back when I was running 10K hits for you now. And that's really, I built my entire program and base back in those days, based just on traffic exchanges. The lead generation and the amount of people that would come in and opt in was just incredible. So those were what we call the Gilded Age, or the glory years, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Cool stuff. Okay, and then we met probably through Page Swirl, or maybe the Traffic Exchange. I can't remember which one, but I know that was the first rotator that I used, Page Swirl. So I always enjoyed that program.
Yeah,
so
I know.
God, Dan. No, finish up on that.
Okay. No, I remember way back, I did a conference with Beulah, brought me in, I think. I think she connected us or something like that. And I did one on a click and putt launch, and I'm pretty sure you were involved or you were a part of that. But, you know, that was back in like 2006. So I know we've been chatting back and forth since then, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So good stuff. My next question, Dan, was just about what are you working on currently? What do you got in the works at the moment?
Well, I'm very active in launching programs. I've been doing this for years, mainly for I started out small, launching every 6-8 months. I launched my own, but I started launching programs for friends, and then I started building different clientele, and I've gotten very fluent and very systematic and successful at doing these launches. And so I have one coming up on Monday called ArcHits, which is a traffic exchange. And so that's kind of where my focus is. And I do them about every 5 weeks now. I'll build a program, either a mailer or a traffic exchange, and then I'll launch them, follow through, train the owners. I've got a whole systematic process and training videos and different things like that. So that's kind of where my passion is. To date, PageSwirl is still my #1 income earner program. But I really enjoy launching programs. It's very thrilling on that launch day to see, the sales, the owners excited, and the members come in, and just building the JV teams. I mean, that process is where my passion's been at for at least 3 or 4 years now. And so that's what I'm doing on Monday. But man, I have like you said, I wear so many hats. It was funny you said that, because I was thinking that today. I was thinking along the same lines, and then I'm like, well, I'm not even wearing a hat right now. I wear many hats, but right now I'm not wearing a hat. But you
should actually get hats with our program names on them. That'd be kind of cool.
Right? I've had that. I've had the mouse pads and the shirts, and you know, it comes and goes. I spent hundreds of dollars when I got into that, and it's like, well, I don't go to enough offline conferences anymore these days, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly.
but yeah, so I'm focused on that launch, but you know, I'm always working on the last launch and the launch before, and you know, I'm always communicating with the owners, and my Skype's beeping at me, you know, 30, 40 times a day, and so it's really time management is, you know, another focus of mine, just trying to make sure everything's managing. You'll notice behind me I got boxes. Actually, we just bought a house, so we're going to be moving here in a few weeks. So, you know, that's a huge undertaking, and you know, all different stress comes along with that. And so I've been working on getting that stuff all dialed in for, you know, all the different financial stuff, and being self-employed is always challenging and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I have all my programs I run, and so I mean, I could talk all day about what I've been doing, you know, but I'm really excited about the ARKits launch, and like I said, I'm working on that and trying to stay focused and always thinking of the next one ahead and filling the pipeline and that kind of thing. You know, I'm actually booked out to November right now,
Wow.
so it's definitely been a blessing. The last couple of years, I've been booked out 3 to 6 months in advance, you know, straight for the last 2 years. So, you know, it's definitely a fun, amazing, and blessed life I'm living right now, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I noticed about you is the programs that you're launching together with people. They're pretty much out of the box successful versus the other people that maybe are trying to do it on their own or don't have a lot of experience or background. They're, you know, sitting with maybe 100 members, 150. So maybe you can explain how you get those nice pushes going with the new endeavors.
Yeah, last year in August, I actually put together, and I had this idea for about 6 or 7 years. So I've been taking screenshots of every launch I've done for, you know, the last 10 years. And so I put it into a program called Program Launches exposedcalm, and launched that last year in August. And so it allows people to come in who are interested in maybe owning a program. They can join it and buy into the package and see all my launches. I've got over 20 of them in there, and see what the sales were, and they can follow it. I do 24, 72, 48 hours a week, 2 weeks, you know, a month. And so they can see these screenshots of all the members growth, the sales, what products have sold, you know, which upgrades are more popular. So, I mean, I have a vast stat knowledge, which actually I think has helped me a lot to succeed, is that I can see what works and what doesn't on so many programs that I manage and help launch and admin for people on a daily basis. As far as the success between like myself versus someone who's starting out, it's really who you know. I mean, we all know it's who you know and not what you know as much. And so building that JV team over the years, you know, that list is so valuable to me because these people have joined my JV teams, you know, like I said, for years. And so they'll join beforehand. So I build a JV team of people that want to help promote and launch the program. So when you have that team in place and they're ready to launch it when that time comes and the doors open, you've got, you know, I always try to build 77 and I get close, or sometimes I got to close it off or get right to the end of it there. But that's a lot of people and a lot of heavy hitters too that will launch those programs with me. And so we'll get a lot of members in really quickly. And I've got different offers that work really well. I've got lifetimes that I'll increase every 10 or every 15 sold, I'll go up $10. And so I've pretty much figured out the best offers, when to set them up, the login offers, and I've been tweaking that and working with that for many years. So also mods are very important. You know, I have a whole selection of my own mods that I sell that I've had programmers create for me, and then I do installs, and it's a really good, another hat I wear, but it's another great income source for me. But it really helps to get members more motivated. I've got some really great ones, like my jackpot mod is very popular, creates activity in multiple areas. So if you want people to promote more, you can increase your points that they can earn in that area. If you want them to refer more, if you want them to upgrade and do different points, tweeting, there's a lot of different activities that you can focus on having that mod that'll get the members to be more active in different areas. So you can tweak that as an owner in the back office and create a lot more activity and promotion and efforts from your members. So, I mean, that's a great aspect of different things that are out there. I mean, not just myself, but a lot of other programmers have different mods that create more activity and and the members love them. I mean, obviously, if you can win a jackpot every week, and in this business, pennies get people active. So, I mean, I'm sure most people know about Zuby coins. I mean, I'm addicted myself. I collect them every day. I've got them on my site. And it's funny because it's like I spend hours to earn $1, but I enjoy it at the same time because you're always competing with people, and that whole game marketing side that our industry has turned into. There's been a lot of people that have been against it, a lot of people for it, but it really does create activity and make things more enjoyable, where we're not just robots viewing web pages over and over and over and over again. And so if they can do it, and there's different ways that are bad and there's different ways that are good, but if you can focus it where you're getting members to be more active without taking away from the advertising side, where you're diminishing your program, then it's a huge success and a win-win for everybody. So I mean, I love this business. Traffic exchanges were everything that I ever did, was a 99% traffic exchange focus for all my advertising for 12, 13 years. And then when I started getting into viral mailers, it was like a whole nother light came on, and it was like, wow, there's this whole other side that, is huge, because it's like the market's similar, but they're different at the same time. And the customer base is pretty similar, but some people don't like the traffic exchanges that love the mailers, and vice versa. But owning both, you see the advantages and you see how you can, work them together. And I think a lot more people that do surf TEs have no problem joining a mailer. It's a lot less time to send out an email than to surf for 2 hours to earn enough credits. But traffic exchanges are still more fun. I mean, you can get a lot more bells and whistles and chat and different things in the traffic exchanges that make them more entertaining and more social than like a mailer. But mailers have better conversion rates. So, I mean, it's a great business to be in, as I'm sure you know. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I hope I didn't get too.
No, that's good. I love every word you're saying there. So and I love the promo codes too. I think just what we're going to do later on. So stay tuned, everyone, for some big time promo codes coming from both me and Dan. And I haven't seen any questions or comments come up on the screen. So please, if you jump on Google, if you're already there, there should be a place. I think it's towards the top of the screen. I think it's pretty evident. Just give us your feedback, questions for myself and Dan, and that's gonna make this either go relatively short, or we could go a little longer with the format here. So please give us your questions, your comments, and as I see them and Dan sees them, we will address. So one thing I was thinking, I'm going to go off the script a little bit for a second, Dan. One of the big controversies in the industries you hear about is too many programs, too many traffic exchanges launching, too many viral mailers launching. What's your thoughts on that? What would you say to people that are saying that right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's been, man, I mean, that goes back 10, 15 years. I mean, when I first started launching programs, I actually had a negative connotation on me where people were saying Dan's just money grabbing. And now it's like I have more respect, and people are looking at me in a different light because I've got this model that's really successful. And I don't hear that anymore, and I'm the type of guy that I'm not so social where I'm on every chat and I'm, on every hangout. I'm really much working and keeping my head down, and I'm constantly busy. I mean, I work the 9 to 5, used to do the 16 hours, but I have a beautiful, wonderful family and wife that helps to keep me focused. And I actually appreciate that. I'm older now and wiser, that I know that working myself to the bone is not what I need to do. So as I'm working, I love it. But as I'm not working, I appreciate time that I'm away and I'm enjoying family versus when I'm working. But back to your question, I don't see that as an issue because my pipeline's full. People are still coming to me. The market still, every launch is successful. So, most of them are pretty close to the launch before. And then this last launch, I did a paid viral mailer, which actually it changed everything for me, because that success was so huge. It blew all my records out of the water of my previous launches. I mean, the sales were amazing. And so that model to me just opened another door where now there's a paid mailer, there's a free mailer, there's traffic, there's paid traffic exchanges. But that's how I started. And that was very challenging because that industry, you have to get people to surf the traffic exchanges. And when people are paying, they're buying credits, they're upgrading, they're not spending the time because they want to spend the money and save the time, where the free know that they don't have the money and they need to surf more to earn the credit. So it was very challenging running paid traffic exchanges. And I know there's still a few out there, but I actually changed all my paid traffic exchanges to free traffic exchanges because the traffic was just too low. But as far as programs in the industry, always the cream's going to rise to the cream rises to the top, and the best ones are going to be continually successful, and they're going to continually keep going. And when you get a bad owner, they slow down and they diminish and they go under, or they die. And so I see new programs coming in constantly. I see owners getting more innovative. I mean, this industry is not gone anywhere, and the more programs that launch, it doesn't seem to affect. I see a lot of the same people buying into each program, but we all know that if you get into a program early, you're going to have better advertising than, and I, maybe I should take back what I'm saying or reword that, but new launches are fantastic for results when you promote them. Now that goes for a while. Now, obviously the larger programs that have huge membership bases, you can still get those great results. So there's kind of that in-between time where it's from new to medium, not so new, to large, and it's great. So the people that, they call them slot machine marketers, that they jump on every new program, and a lot of people give negative connotation to that, but that's actually because those people know that they're going to get better results joining that new TE. And so I base and look at them, and if some people buy mods from me, I'll join the newer TEs if I'm not a part of the launch, because I know that advertising is more effective at that first few month period. Now, depending on how well that program does, it's going to slow down until, if it gets big, then it'll be a good one to continue at. But I don't see an issue myself, and I haven't said too much on it about new programs launching, because obviously that's my business structure at this time. But I see the success that these owners, and everybody should have an opportunity to be a program owner if they want to, can do it. And if they need to do something a little different to be more successful, then that's awesome, because the creativity in this market is huge. I mean, there's not that many markets that you can be so creative to come up with your own graphic spin or your own mod spin, or different things you can do that are different than the last guy to make yourself stand out. And it's a huge success. And like I mentioned, Zuby coins, I mean, we've got badges and we've got all these different things, VTG, viral traffic games. I love that program, that make it more exciting and more entertaining. And those markets are growing too. I mean, you've got thousands of people in those programs that you put out the money to add those to your program, and you're drawing in that whole other market that loves it, that's going to join your program. I mean, I actually look for programs that have coins and VTG and badges, and I'll focus more on those than some of the other ones that don't have them, because I enjoy that. And I think a lot of the other marketers out there and members, that's the same kind of aspect. So as long as we're staying innovative and we're not getting stagnant, I think that the industry is going to continue to grow. New programs are going to continue to come out, and the market's still flourishing since '99, still going.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see you got a nice comment there from Darren Turner? You see that there?
Yeah. Thanks, Darren.
So give Darren some credits somewhere there, Dan, okay?
Right? Yeah, that's kind of an issue, though. It's like, well, which program? I mean, I got to look for them in all these different programs,
Let us know, Darren, your favorite Dan Moses program. How about that? And we'll see what comes up.
Same with Anton. I mean,
yeah, well said, he says. So it's good stuff. All right, so continue to pump us your questions, comments, and feedback. The next question I had for you, Dan, was basically, how do you see the future for TEs and for viral mailers? Where we going with all of this?
Yeah, I'm not a fortune teller here, but I love what I see, and like I said, I've enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, it's had its ups and downs. I love the gamified system. I mean, we're all competitive. So people that come out with competitive mods and games really are the ones I see that are going to be successful long term. Um, it's going to continue. I mean, there's going to be new features and there's going to be new, programs that are going to keep things more social, and it's going to continue to grow. I mean, I do love this industry, and I don't see um, I don't see it dying or going away anytime soon. It's funny when you try to explain to people that don't understand our industry. I mean, I'm sure you've dealt with this for years, and I do all the time. When people ask you what you do, you're like, man, do you want the long version or the short version? I mean, I own membership websites that do to advertising and marketing. It's like, there's the short version, and if you got an hour, I'll tell you the longer version. It's harder for people to understand, and it's like, even marketing people are like, so they're just advertisers advertising to advertisers? I mean, what is that? What good is that? And it's like, well, we have tools, and we got autoresponders, and we've got advertising mediums, and we've got these different programs that people want to join to advertise to, and they're still excited about it. And yes, everybody has their own service or product or the affiliate link that they want to promote. And yeah, we love it, and we grow, and it's successful. It's not easy. I mean, it takes time. There's learning curves and everything, and you got to know the right people, and you got to connect with them, and it's awesome. But I've seen. Go ahead. I'm going to read some questions here.
Yeah, go ahead. We have Ken Wolf who says hi. So hi Ken. So I'll move that one. I'll move that one off the screen here. And then Darren Turner. It's actually Minister White, and doesn't know why his nephew's name is coming up. Probably something with the Google account. But enjoying your programs, Dan, for some time, and enjoying all the launches. I'm sure he'll be involved in the new one coming up as well. Now, a question that Anton has for you, Dan, is of all the mods you've created, what is your favorite and why?
Yeah, I have to say the Jackpot's been the most popular. I mean, it's my highest price mod, but I get, weekly, I'll do at least one Jackpot install, since I came out with it years ago, and, tweaked it, perfected it, changed it so it'd work on like LFM scripts. Obviously I started with LJs. I shouldn't say obviously, you guys don't know that, but I use LJs for my traffic exchanges, and I created it there first, and then I got it modified for the LFM. But it's got to be my favorite just for the most increased activity, and just the fact that you award members on a weekly basis. We've got 25 winners. They win cash credits, banner impressions. And it really just turned a program from being stagnant into really active. And like I said, you can focus where you want your members to increase activity at and how you want to do it. So Jackpot's definitely my favorite. And, I've got quite a few. Paid to click has been great. Everybody likes to earn a few more pennies for viewing ads. For advertising, it's more effective than TE and mailers. I mean, if you ever use them or try them, it's like buy one and set up a tracker on it and test it. And I still get more results from a paid to click ad within a TE or a mailer than the actual mailer or TE credits. So that one for advertising works great. What is a mod?
And
mods
what is a mod, Dan?
Mods are little applications that you can add to a script. So, I mean, scripts come basically box setup where they have tons of different features, and a mod is just something that didn't come with that original script that a programmer will program. Like, I have an idea for a mod, and I'll tell my programmer, and then he'll see if he can build it, and then I pay him for his time, and then I have him create instructions for me on how to install it into a program, and so I can sell them and go from there. So it's just something the program's missing. There's a lot of different mods out there, and it's basically an idea that you might have that you can give to a programmer, and they create a script that you can add to a program. So I mean, it's pretty simple from that. So check.
And then for silver, some other examples, just looking at Traffic Leads to Income VM, we've got the missed mail. That's a mod that was put in. All the promo codes, that's considered a mod. What do you call it? Login spotlight ad, that's a mod. So all just goodies that, you know, it's like adding on just nice extras that create more value to the overall program.
Right.
And then his favorite mailer for you, Dan, is Puffin Mailer. So that's cool. Or actually, that's Minister White. I'm sorry, Minister. Gotta get myself straight there. Question from, let's take the Ken Wolf question, Dan. What are the best ways to attract loyal participation to a traffic exchange?
Well, again, that boils down to what your features are and how effective your traffic is. Obviously, if you're not producing results for the advertiser, he's not going to want to stick around. And anybody that's been doing this for any amount of time knows we need to track our results. So definitely trackers are a way to go. That's going to allow you to see how many visitors you're getting to what you're advertising. And then if they join it or opt in or buy the product, you have like a code on your thank you page that will tell you this person came from this website and they joined this program or they bought this product. So the sooner you can get into tracking, if you're not, the better, because then you're going to be able to tell the results of which programs are performing for you better. Because it's hard to just guess. I mean, you could take 10 traffic exchanges and 3 of them are doing better than the other 7, and those 3 could be small. You don't know. So I mean, it's throwing darts in the dark and you're not hitting your target. So tracking is important. And then again, the different features as far as, you know, adding things that you can, you know, with the mods or the games or, you know, viral traffic games or just different Zuby coins and badges. There's audiences for those features. And so when someone looks at your program and they see, oh, you have this, this, and this, oh, I'd like to join that because I like those features. So you're going to get more activity out of them, you know, based on what you have to offer them. And that'll create loyalty. You can send out emails every day to them. You know, you can have very content-rich emails besides, hey, we're doing this joint promo. It takes time. That's very hard for me to do. I actually have someone that does all my emailing as far as my TEs go, because I don't have time to spend writing those. And I've done that in the past. It's great, and it creates an audience and a following and builds loyalty in your list. Same thing with your program. So there's a lot of different aspects to making that program more loyal. And the members can feel sincerity in your emails. And as an owner, the more active you are and the more sincere and the more you care about them, you know, they can feel that, they can see that. You pay commissions on time, you know, they're earning money, it's an effective program. You're going to create more loyalty base, you know, from those members, obviously. Quick question right there. It says, you know, what are LJ? There's different scripts that run programs. So LJ is an older script that runs traffic exchanges. Like I Love Hits is on it. It's popular TE. I have 4x4 Hits. I use it there. There's a lot of other programs that will use that script. Most of them nowadays and the newer ones are using the LFM TE script. So that's more the popular one. You know, there's like Ventrino scripts, which, you know, I personally don't like too much, but there's still TEs out there using that. So they're just different scripts, that commercial scripts you can buy to set up a program and run that program. So that's what, you know, LJ stands for. I actually don't know what it actually stands for on the top of my head, but that's just the easy abbreviation for it.
Yeah, and Traffic Leads to Income VM runs on the, that's the LFM VM script. The old Traffic Leads to Income, before we turned over to a viral mailer, ran on actually the old LFM TE script, but it wasn't a traffic exchange. We turned that module off. So that just shows some flexibility too when it comes to membership sites and scripts. You know, it doesn't always have to be a traffic exchange or a viral mailer, but that, you know, they add value as obviously to you know, to what you're doing. Marva, when we answered that question, what does the +1 mean by my question? That's like it's the Google version of the Facebook like. So when people look at this is all on Google Plus. So they can actually put they can click on the plus, and that'll be a +2, and then somebody else comes along, Richard, and he hits it, it's +3, and then Sergio does, and it's +4. So all of a sudden, and that shows that this comment, this topic, this situation we're doing today is popular. It makes it, I believe, more viral. Kind of like the whole like thing. I think that's my best estimate of what that's about. Richard wants to know this is great. I love the questions. This is maybe my 4th or 5th hangout. This is a relatively new format for me. We do the Sunday the Sunday night hangouts pretty religiously on 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. But we've done probably about 5. This is the most questions that I've seen come through. So this is awesome. So kudos to the audience today. And Richard wants to know, how is the PPC going? Are they going up or down, Dan?
Yeah, if you mean like paid to click, maybe I should elaborate a little bit. Basically, I created a mod that within the program, it's kind of a separate aspect. You can click on paid to click. It's usually below the home menu, and you'll see a list of subject lines that you can view. So you pick which ones you like. You can start at the top and go through them all, and you'll earn pennies based on what people buy. They can buy like a longer timer. So like a 30-second timer might be like a penny worth for you to view. And the difference is that they can't leave that browser and do something else while they're viewing it. So we have it scripted. So if you're viewing that web page, you click on the link and you're viewing the web page, and you're deciding to surf on your other window, or you click over to your email, that timer will stop. So you come back thinking, oh, I've earned my credit or my penny, and it actually is still stuck at 28 seconds. So then they have to click the page, wait for that timer to go to 0 to earn their pennies or whatever they're earning. And so what it does is it creates more focus where people can't leave, so they got to view each page in that time frame. Kind of back in the day, like a traffic exchange, we'd all kind of check out the page more instead of multi-tab browsing and different things that we're focused on. So the advertising is more effective. And so my tracking shows, I mean, I'll buy $2.40 for 1,000 views at 3-second timer, and I'll still get 7, new Puffin Mailer members off that $2.40. I mean, I can still go into my tracker and check that. So it's effective. And whenever I set up a paid to click mod for someone, I always buy an ads in there so I can see how well their members are responding to it. And then I'll go back and buy more sometimes. But, I buy a few ads every month, and, my focus has been on Puffin Mailer as far as paid to click. So I focus on that, but I've got other people that they'll buy 10 of them and promote a bunch of different programs. And so it's still very effective today. And that's in traffic exchanges or mailers. And it gives your members as an owner something else they can earn income on and spend their time. So it creates more stickiness within your program as well, and creates, a better membership base all around. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah. Actually, here's one that's going to get us in trouble, actually, this particular question. Roll down to it. Recommended, what is your recommended, where is the best tracking service provider that you can recommend? So
yeah, that's not going to get us in trouble because I own a tracking service. So I own ProTrackerPlus.com, and that's a good program. I spent $12,000 building that program about 4 or 5 years ago, and generated a lot of income off it. It's slowed down quite a bit, but it's still a great service. And that would be what I can recommend. I know there's a lot out there, and there's some great ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get in trouble on that one.
I just tell people, go to my downline builder in Trafficleads2incomeVM and see what's there. That'll keep me out of semi trouble, I guess. There we go.
Maybe let me go see what's there.
See what's there. Yeah, we'll have to talk, Dan. Okay, so seriously, how about Marva? This is really interesting information. I'm getting a better understanding. And one of the nice things is anytime we do a hangout, it goes right to YouTube. So my YouTube channel is youtube.com/C/Rob Gehring. So if you subscribe, anytime we do a hangout, it goes right to YouTube and it's archived. So Marva, you can actually use that, promote that, tell people, go, hey, check this out, because I know you had a question about such and such that was covered in this, and that could help one of your downline members or followers to become a stronger marketer. So leverage your resources. No doubt about that. So thank you for that one, Marva. Now, Sergio, I don't speak the language here. Dan, do you speak the language of Sergio? Because I don't know.
I don't. We could go into Google Translator probably.
I'll leave that up on the screen, so I won't take those away. I need the link for yours. It's only right. So what is your tracker, Dan?
ProTrackerPlus.com.
ProTrackerPlus.com, Grace. So.
Yeah, I co-own it with Mark Brown. We've had it for quite a few years, but yeah, pretty simple. Just Pro Tracker Plus.
And Grace, I think you're a member of my program, but mine's Trafficleads2incomeVM.com. Unless you know somebody who you generally join things under, we like to tell people to go back to the person who brought them here or who your usual go-to mentor is. So, all right. So Dan, I had a burning question for you. What's your thoughts on Traffic Leads to Income VM and what it offers out there to the peeps?
Yeah, I really like the way that you focus on the training aspect and the community. That's missing in a lot of programs these days, and so it's definitely enjoyable to see that you're still focused on that. When it comes from downline integrity to building, training that helps people to understand, because there's still so many newbies that come into this industry every day. I mean, there's thousands of them. And I don't know for sure, but what I've seen, there's less training than what there used to be, years ago, because a lot of us, would have training. And I mean, I still have some different stuff, the Learning Center and Page Swirl, but it's pretty old, needs to be updated. But there's not a whole lot of that kind of community aspect programs. So your system's great. I mean, I watched your video. Obviously, it's still very important to create those lead capture pages. There's a huge audience for that, for people that are new. Obviously, we want to build our lists, and it's funny because I see products come and go for a decade now that focus on the list, and then we go away from it, and then we come back, and then we go away from it. And I mean, I was clicking on emails and Viral List Builder and watched this video, and kind of, even though it was the same stuff, it was like a different spin on building your list and the software they have available and how easy it is to create the pages. And that's how I got started, and that's still how people can make money, is building that list and sending an email out. It's still one of the #1 effective ways to market something new to members online, and people are still checking their email, and it's still very effective. So your system's great that way, and you definitely have that community feeling that I think is missing. So definitely props to you on that one.
Thanks, I appreciate that, Dan. So let's see, we're pretty much wrapping it up here. We've been doing this for about 45 minutes. We've had great questions from the folks here that are viewing. We have some promo codes for everybody, so I'll throw mine out there first for Traffic Leads to Income VM members. Dan and Rob, DANANDROB. That's your promo code. That's worth 10,000 credits and $2 cash. And hey, if you're like sitting at a certain amount, that could push you over to the payability situation. So certainly $2, can go a long way. So hopefully everybody takes advantage of that and enjoy. Dan, what do you got for the great viewers we have today?
All right, I've got four promo codes for you. Puffin Mailer, Bakery Mailer, Program Launches Exposed, and the brand new one, the paid mailer, Wild Hog Mailer, that are all a little different. I know I sent you that list earlier, but Puffin Mailer, it's 6,000 credits, 1,000 banner, 1,000 text. Bakery Mailer is going to be 4,000 credits, 1,000 banner, 1,000 text. Program Launches Exposed is 2,000 credits, 1,000 banner, 1,000 text. And Wild Hog Mailer is $1, 1,000 credits, 1,000 banner, 1,000 text. They're all good if you're already a member. If you aren't, love to have you in the programs. But basically, you just take the initials, and you are good to go as far as the promo code.
The TL2IVM, right, Dan? TL2IVM. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, TL2 number 2. Can we put those on the screen? Like, can we put those in chat so they see them?
Now they're not going to see that. So that's one of the things about this. Unless I may not know a feature here, but I've not seen a way to do that. So yeah, TL the number 2 VIM TL2IVM will get you all those promos that Dan mentioned and all those programs. And if I did my math right, and I don't know, I didn't really do it closely, but ballpark 25,000 credits, banner and text ads, some cash. I mean, you could walk away with adding 10, 15 people to your list just by listening to a webinar. So that's really good, and that's really cool stuff. So where can we find the promo code so we can copy and paste them?
Right.
You know what I'll do? Here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I got the answer to this. I'm gonna post it on my blog. So give me about, as soon as we finish up here, give me about 15 minutes. And my blog is trafficleads2income.com/blog. So trafficleads2income.
You should put a time limit on that, Rob, so people who don't come to the call don't get the goodies, you know?
Okay. How long do you think on that, Dan?
A couple hours.
Oh, a couple hours. Okay, there it is. How about we'll be fair and we'll say 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever time you go to bed and I go to bed, Dan, today.
That'll work. I'm all right with that.
All right. That's going to be at trafficleads2income.com/blog, and that leads me to my final thought. We do the Sunday hangouts for Traffic Leads to Income VM 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, so you can always find that information again at trafficleads2income.com/blog. So that's a good bookmark. And our topic on Sunday is going to be how to create activity within your for program owners within their programs, for members within their downlines. So that's going to be our topic du jour. I'm sure I'll have a fine panel of 3 or 4, 5 people that'll be joining us. So, you know, come on over on Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time and join us again. Trying to think if there's anything else. Let's just go through our questions here. So, Ken, we're going to take care of the blog posts. That'll handle that. And same with Grace. So mine was Dan and Rob. DANANDROB. That's a Traffic Leads to Income VM, but we'll post that, so you guys will get all that. The nice thing about promo codes too, I have to say, is that they're trackable. So I get an email. I always very much study and watch, and it's amazing. You really learn a lot as a program owner from who's taken the promo codes, or wherever you put the code, how effective, how much reach did you have on your offer. So that kind of dovetails into that whole, how do you see, or how do you make people active? That's a great way. Or if you're in a program that you have a nice sizable downline and they allow you to transfer credits, do that. I allow that in Traffic Leads to Income VM. So transfer, do a little contest. Say I can transfer some credits to people who reply to my downline email that I'm sending, and that could get some people moving and grooving for you. So yeah, Grace, we're gonna post on my blog, so don't worry about the code. Again, trafficleads2income.com/blog. You will get all those codes because I have Dan's Skype that he sent me. Yeah, and Darren, that was our Minister White. Dan and Rob, all one word, no spaces. But again, we're gonna post. So, Miss Philly, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. Anton says, awesome interview. Good luck on your launch, Dan. Keep up the good work. So I share that sentiment as well. How about Trevor? Trevor McAfee, great info and interview. Thank you. Boy, these are flying in now, Dan. I've never seen anything like this in one of these. I love it, though.
I'm going to answer the Wild Hog mailer. That's my dad. So yes, I'm very well related to him. Yes.
Bruce, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I just joined, so I'm one of the newbies over there. All right, so Grace, took care of you. Thank you, Trevor, for coming. Appreciate you. And it sounded like people are. Yeah, you guys can add each other in Google. That's great. Google Plus. I have 2,200 friends because I'm always looking to grow my base with just people that I think would be interested in following. So that is, you guys can can add each other. There's no laws or rules against that. So Ken gives a good little networking tip there. Marva, thank you. And Sergio, we didn't get a translation yet for you, but we thank you for coming as well. So this is the last. Oh, John Olson weighed in here. How you doing, John? Thanks for stopping by. John's one of the oldies but goodies, old timers like me and Dan. Started up about 1999.
John's great, man. I'll throw something out for him. I've been working with John for years. Met him at conferences. Didn't know he was in the room. Hi, John. He's great. I got nothing but good stuff to say about John and all their programs and all their badges. And he's been a part of a lot of my launches. So much props and thanks to him. So
yeah, he's a steady guy, good guy out there. And again, another person that helps a lot of people and steers folks in a good direction. And talk about consistency when it comes to traffic exchanges. He stayed the course for all these years, and there's kudos and props to people that do that stay the course, no matter. And say, oh, 90 days, I only made about $10, and I'm going to move on to something else. Give it that extra time. Spend time, build what you're doing. I know a guy who I'm working with now who's been doing something for about 12 years. And his income speaks to it because he has been consistent and stayed the course. So that's a little tip for everybody today. And I think that's about it for this session. So Dan, any final comments or thoughts that you have today?
Well, real quick, I see one here. Rich is asking, where you go to buy a script. If you want to own a T or VM, I would say, come talk to me. You can get me on Skype. If you join one of my programs, you can send in a support ticket. My Skype username is Pageswirl, PAGESWIRL. I'm always open to talking to people, so I can help anybody as far as program owner or owning or, getting a program started, or if you just want a script, that kind of thing. So final thoughts, it's been great. I definitely appreciate the time that you've allowed me to come out here with you, and I've had a great time, and the feedback's been great, and the comments, and like I said, I love this business, and I can't wait to see where we're at in the next 20 years. So I'm definitely not going anywhere, and it's where I'm graced to be, man. It's good stuff.
Very good, very good. We appreciate you, Dan. And for any other owners like John listening out there, I will do these by popular request. I'm not going to over advertise it or really push it, but if somebody would like to be interviewed, certainly I can set up the hangout and we can do this and we can spread it around. And I think it's good for exposure, and maybe some newer owners or listeners out there, or maybe just somebody who's really feels they're doing a good job helping a lot of people. I know one thing that I did want to say. Every one of you can be a program owner. Did you know that? When you build your list first, you're a program owner. Get yourself a quality autoresponder. Everybody knows I'm all about the autoresponder. I'm going to be adding one to Traffic Leads to Income VM. I can't wait. I'm just like chomping at the bit. I think that's going to be a difference maker for us, because we have a lot of people who hit step 2 in our 7 steps to success, and they go, crap, autoresponder, peace out, let me just use the mailer. So that should help. And Dan's Skype is Pageswirl, PAGESWIRL. My Skype is rob.gehring, so you can reach us both on Skype with further dialogue and comments and questions. But every one of you has the ability to be a program owner, whether you work with Dan and go through an official launch, or you put something out there. But if you're building your list and you're leading a team, which you are, and a lot of people, oh my God, now he's getting into network marketing and MLMs. No, it's just about anything you do. If you're building a list, and you should have yourself a blog, and you're communicating to people and making connections and bonds and friendships, that's going to bode well to your income, and that's leadership. And that's my soapbox for today. So again, thank you, Dan, for joining us. Thank you all the great guests that we had, listeners, people that kind of peeked in today. There'll be a lot of people viewing this, I know, on YouTube, and this is going to be recorded for posterity. So thank you very much. That's all we've got for today. And again, you can check out the blog at trafficleads2income.com/blog for all these great promo codes and an invite. Keep an eye for the invite for Sunday's Hangout. So thank you very much. Have a great rest of your marketing week.
All right. Thanks, guys.